It was a bitter January night, snow piling soft and silent outside my main cabin. The fireplace crackled, casting warm shadows across the living room's worn walls. I'd been alone 5 years since my marriage to Edward shattered his betrayal, carving deep scars. I rebuilt piece by piece, finding solace in independence and raising Ethan, my best friend's son, taken in as my own after her death. At 28, Ethan was married, settled, or so I thought. His visits lit up my quiet home, his warmth a spark against the cold. But tonight something was off. He stepped through the door, his usual grin gone, replaced by a weight I couldn't name. He sat across from me, firelight flickering in his eyes, hands restless. "Clara," he said, voice catching, "I need to tell you something." The air grew heavy, the room too small. I leaned forward, chest tight. "What's wrong, Ethan?" His words came raw, unfiltered. "I can't stop thinking about you." His voice trembled, eyes locked on mine. "I've tried, but it's killing me. It's not fair to Lydia, my wife, and I know it's wrong, but I don't think I ever loved her like I love you." The confession hung a blade in the air. I froze, breath trapped, the room pressing in. The fire's crackle mocked the silence. "Ethan, this isn't right," I stammered. "You're like my son." He nodded, pained. "I know, but I can't change how I feel." His hands clenched, head bowed, the boy I'd raised, now a man, tearing our world apart. Morning came, weak winter light filtering through thick clouds. A knock at the door jolted me. Ethan stood on the porch, snow dusting his dark hair, eyes softer but heavy. "Can I come in?" he asked, voice low. I stepped aside, unsure. He carried a small backpack, not just visiting, he was staying. "Ethan," I said, closing the door, "what's going on?" He set his bag down, face unreadable. "I need time to clear my head. Lydia's with her family. I don't know where else to go." Instinct screamed to send him away, back to his life, but his vulnerability stopped me. I nodded against my better judgment. "A few days," I said, voice firm, hiding my doubt. "Thanks," he murmured, shoulders easing. Days passed, and Ethan's presence filled the house, deliberate, charged. He did chores, insisted I rest, brought in firewood, stacked it with care, even drove into Bar Harbor for groceries, returning with my favorite tea and chocolate. He didn't mention that night, and for a while I pretended things were normal. But his glances lingered, tender, searching, unraveling me. One evening by the fire, he'd cooked a simple stew, rich and warm, serving me first. "Thanks for letting me stay," he said, voice soft. "I know it's complicated." I looked down. "I want to help, Ethan. You've always been there for me." His eyes held mine, raw, no trace of the boy I'd known, only a man with desires I couldn't face. After dinner, he suggested a movie. I agreed, hesitant. We sat at opposite ends of the couch, the distance both safe and suffocating. I tried focusing on the screen, but my mind replayed every moment, his hugs that lingered too long, hands brushing mine with intent glances, heavy with meaning. I'd dismissed them once, chalked it up to our closeness, but now I saw my blindness. The movie ended, and Ethan turned to me, eyes unreadable. "You okay, fine?" I lied, voice barely a whisper. He stood gathering empty mugs, his presence a quiet storm. That night in bed, his kindness haunted me, each gesture a coded message. My thoughts spun emotions no longer simple. Morning found him in the kitchen, coffee in hand, his smile tightening my chest. "Morning," he said, handing me a mug. "Breakfast's almost ready." He moved with ease, too at home, too right. I sat watching him, the weight of the unsaid crushing me. "You're quiet," he said, sitting across, eyes probing. "Just thinking," I replied, careful. He nodded, holding my gaze, the silence thick with truths we couldn't voice. I stood moved to the window, pulling the curtains to see the snow-covered yard. Moonlight glinted off the ice, a stark contrast to the chaos in my mind. "Ethan," I whispered, "do you know what you're saying?" He didn't answer right away. When I turned, his eyes were raw, undeniable. "I've tried not to feel this," he said, leaning forward, elbows on knees. "Every time I see you, talk to you, it pulls me in. I don't know how to stop." I sank into the armchair, gripping the armrests. "You're like my son," I said, firm. "I raised you. I love you, but not like that." He shook his head, pain etched deep. "I know what people would think. It's tearing me apart, but I can't pretend." "Stop," I cut in sharper. "You're married. You vowed to Lydia. Do you know what you're risking?" He stood, voice rising. "You think I don't know? I've lain awake for months telling myself it's just a crush, but it's not." I swallowed, battling the storm inside. "You need to go," I said, "back to Lydia." His face crumpled like I'd struck him, just like that. Pretend I didn't bare my soul. "Yes," I said, cold, though my heart wavered. He stood slowly, firelight casting his shadow, a man I couldn't reconcile with the boy I'd raised. "I'll go," he whispered, "but this won't stop. These feelings won't vanish because you tell me to leave." The door slammed his steps, fading my chest tight. Days dragged heavy with his words. I buried myself in work chores, anything to distract. But his confession clung, forcing me to replay every moment, searching for where I'd missed the signs. One night the phone rang. I hesitated, then answered. "It's me," Ethan said, voice fragile. "I shouldn't call, but I needed to hear you." I leaned against the counter, eyes closed. "Ethan, what can I say? How do I set boundaries with someone I've loved so fiercely for so long?" His voice broke. "I know you're protecting me, maybe yourself too, but I can't pretend. I can't go back to Lydia and act like everything's fine. She loves you," I said. "She deserves your loyalty." "What about me?" he snapped. "Do I deserve to be miserable, living a lie to make her life easier?" I choked, tears rising. "You deserve happiness, but not like this. Not with me." Silence stretched heavy. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I just needed you to know." I cried as the call ended, clutching the phone, the snow outside falling like my resolve. Ethan stayed, and we fell into a rhythm, natural, unnerving. He was thoughtful, asking how I liked my tea, suggesting books, keeping the house warm. The tension eased, replaced by something I couldn't name. One night, post-dinner firelight dancing, he draped a blanket over my legs, claiming the room was chilly. He sat close, the gap shrinking. By the movie's end, his arm brushed mine, reaching for the remote. "Sorry," he said, pulling back. "It's fine," I lied, pulse racing. He turned, eyes intense. "I miss this," he said. "Being here with you, it feels right." I swallowed his words heavy. "You always make things seem easy," I said. "Only because of you," he whispered. "You make everything better." I turned away, the pull too strong. A blizzard hit, sealing us in. We played cards, shared old stories, laughed over memories. The world outside vanished, our bubble, intimate, unreal. By dusk, the storm worsened, power flickering out. Ethan lit candles, their glow softening the room. "You okay?" he asked, sitting beside me. "Fine," I said, voice shaky. He took my hand, warm, steady. "You don't have to be scared," he said. "I'm not," I lied. He smiled, seeing through me. "Who decides what's right?" he asked, calm but urgent. "The world or us?" I had no answer, the lines I'd drawn fading. "I need time," I said. He nodded, letting go. "Take all you need. I'm not going anywhere." That night I stood outside his room, drawn by something bigger than reason. He sat on the bed, staring out at the snow. "Ethan," I whispered. He turned, eyes soft. I just wanted to check on you. I'm okay, he said, stepping closer. Are you? I shook my head, tears falling. I don't know how to stop feeling this. He brushed my cheek gentle. Don't stop, just feel. I leaned into his touch, peace washing over me, the snow raging outside. The storm trapped us for days, the house a warm haven. Our routine felt natural yet wrong. Each laugh, glance, touch confirmed something undeniable. One evening by the dying fire sipping tea, I curled up on the couch blanket tight. Ethan stretched nearby, the silence taut. You're quiet, he said. Just tired, I lied. He grinned, teasing. Bored of me, never, I said, smiling faintly. His face grew serious. I've always admired your strength, he said. You never let anything break you. Tears stung. I had to be strong, I said. For you, for me. And now, he asked, do you ever let yourself just be? I looked away, his question heavy. I don't know how, I admitted. He moved closer, steady. You don't always have to be strong, not with me. I met his gaze, his honesty breaking me. Ethan, I don't know what to do with this. Maybe you don't have to make it go away, he said. I shook my head, tears falling. It shouldn't be like this. Why not, he asked. Who decides? His hand found mine warm, pulling me from chaos. As the storm cleared, the world transformed, snow blanketing everything. Our connection had shifted, undeniable. One afternoon by the window, watching snow melt under faint sunlight, Ethan stood close, his warmth familiar. It's beautiful, he said. It is, I replied, breath fogging the glass. He paused. You've always been my home, Clara. No matter where I go, I come back to you. My heart broke at his vulnerability. Ethan, you don't have to say this. I do, he cut in. You need to know how much you mean. I searched his face, took his hand, squeezed it. That night by the fire, the barriers crumbled. He leaned closer, eyes locked. I don't want to lose you, he whispered. You won't, I said, voice trembling. But this isn't simple. I don't care if it's hard, he said, hand on mine. I leaned in, foreheads touching, the world fading. I don't know where this goes, I whispered. He smiled, bittersweet. You don't have to pretend. His arms wrapped around me, peace flooding in the snow, silent outside.